welcome to our daily word this morning, this Tuesday morning. Back on track, at least starting close to the right time at 10 o'clock this morning. As always, I remain grateful that you choose to join me, that you choose to carve out time to be with me, that you choose to respond and say good morning, and that you find a way in our daily conversation to get a nugget or two that might help us in our life's journey. And so today is daily number 813 as we continue our journey together. And of course, today as well as election day, so I hope everyone's planning to vote, as that's one of the things that we get to do to make our voices heard. And so as part of that, part of the ongoing conversation about that particular thing that we get to do, I've chosen the scripture for this morning. And I've chosen it for lots of reasons, and we'll get to that. But Psalm 107, verses 1 through 3, and we're probably familiar with these words. "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, those he redeemed from trouble and gathered in from the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south." There is that particular line in this text that jumped out at me that I think probably should give us pause and give us reason to think about what we say, what we do, and how we live our lives. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. You know that I'm concerned, I'm particular. I think it's important, the words that we say and the words that we share with each other. And you know that I find it, I don't always say the right words, I confess that, and none of us do. But we're called to this particular way of living our lives if we are of the redeemed. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Those of us who God redeemed from trouble. So much of our public discourse is dominated by the loudest and the most extreme voices. Someone said to me yesterday, and we all probably agree, they'll be glad when today's over so that they can stop getting all the ads on television. And, you know, when they come on television, I usually flip the channel. But our discourse is dominated by outrageous, loud, whoever can yell the loudest, give the biggest opinion, you know, give the most shocking thing to get our opinion. And when we do that, you know, when folks like that give their opinion like that, when they get the most hits, the most likes, the most comments, those things, as we know in our society now, become viral. And what goes viral most in our culture now are the most outrageous things. And what's more outrageous than the previous outrageous thing? It seems to me in our time, in our culture, in our quest to live differently, in our quest to be God's people, I think for us in our lives, in the call to be the church and to be Christian, that if there was ever a time, you know, for the redeemed of the Lord to say so, it's now. And not the voice of political moderation, you know, because I believe that if we really wanted to, if Congress, representatives, all those folks really wanted to, you know, they could find middle ground, particular ways to govern that would make a difference for all people and put aside the extremes. If there's ever a time that us, the redeemed, should say so, should live with, so here it is for me. As I thought about this, we, the redeemed Christians, those who claim to follow Christ, what we have is not extremes, but grace and mercy. Because we believe that God's made a difference in our lives and that we should offer grace and mercy to those around us. We know of forgiveness. We know of love. We know of what that means for us in our lives. We shouldn't be prone to yelling and screaming and fighting and telling people, well, one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone tells someone to shut up. And we've seen it from people in Congress telling a reporter or someone to shut up. We know that our foundation is founded on the incarnation of love and grace and mercy and reconciliation through Jesus Christ. We aren't blinded by our rivals and want to take down each other, but this idea that love transcends politics and nationality and all of those things. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. I'm so concerned in our culture about public discourse, about what's next, about how we treat each other. Diane and I on Sunday had to go to the store, and we pulled into this particular place, and there was a lady beeping her horn, mad at a person in the parking lot who was waiting, ironically, for another person to back out. It's Sunday afternoon, the place is crowded. And so she's beeping her horn and yelling and flailing her arms in her car. All the while, she has on her bumper sticker this, love Jesus or whatever bumper sticker. I can't remember exactly. And Diane and I got parked. We went in the store. And in she comes, just railing at somebody else. And I just wanted to say to her, I didn't. It took all I had. To say, did you just come from church and now you're acting like this? Because, you see, we're just called to live differently. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. It's past time, for us to be cautious with our words, to be cautious with what we say, to be cautious with what we post online, to be cautious with how we treat each other, because it's in you and in me, that God finds a way. God finds a way and is moved and is shaped. I talked about it a bit on Sunday. This idea, we have a bunch of little people, and their parents were once little people, and now their kids are coming up for the children's message, and it's so cool because they want to pass what they were given onto their kids. And it's such a crucial thing, but it doesn't begin or end in church. It begins and ends with how we live our lives. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. So I would pray that you and I, in the struggle of public discourse, and all that we're going through at the moment, and, all the political stuff. Look, we have a year to go, and it's only going to get ugly. But you and I have the courage to be the redeemed who say so, and allow the two things that we have the most, it seems to me, grace and mercy, to make a difference in the world. That's our word for today. I hope you hear it for how I intend it, and know that it's just important for us to live in such a good way. So thanks for joining me for our time together. As always, know of God's love that surrounds you, and know of my love for you. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And just a reminder that we are having church tomorrow morning at 10:30, because there's not in-person worship on Sunday, so we're doing church tomorrow morning at 10:30. You're welcome to come for worship tomorrow morning at 10:30. Of course, it'll be posted online Sunday morning. You can watch it everywhere, on Facebook Live, on YouTube, on our church website. But if you want to come in person and be a part of tomorrow morning, it's at 10:30. So, and you're of course welcome to come at 10 o'clock as well and sit in here and be a part of the Daily Word. So, enjoy today, and thank you for joining me. Have a great day.